How are you? Welcome in. Have you recuperated from that fun time we had at the festival, the Releasing Your Divine Magic festival that we had yesterday at the Akashic Academy? That was so powerful, all the speakers, and it was so much fun. But welcome today. We are so happy to see you here. Give us some hearts. Share this out. We have something so amazing today. What about lucid dreaming? What about going in there and seeing what's going on with all that? Today we have an amazing professional. Now, she's so amazing. We've got Haylee Lynn, and she has taught us so much about it. Even when we just met her the other day, we learned so much, and that put the three of us working on our dreams, and we are getting the results. So I tell you, she is amazing, and you are going to be so excited to meet her today. And Rhonda, were you going to introduce?
I am going to introduce Haylee Lynn. Well, Teresa found Haylee Lynn. She always finds the neatest guests. And Haylee Lynn is from Utah. She's a lucid dreaming and out-of-body exploration practitioner and coach. She's been using these altered states for a life of transformation and healing for over 6 years. Her passion is to guide others to this highest state or consciousness while creating a life that is free of suffering and bliss and liberation. And since we spend like a third of our day usually sleeping, this is a great way to work in our sleep and still get the rest we need, right, Haley? Tell us about lucid dreaming. I'd really like to hear about it and why it's important that we learn this skill.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know what lucid dreaming is the ability to realize you're dreaming as it's happening. So it is not just a vivid dream or maybe a prophetic dream. It's actually a dream where you know that you're sleeping in your bed, but you're in this other reality that is created just by your mind. And within the lucid dreaming state, we can fly and we can have fun and we can explore whatever we want to. But since we're in direct contact with our subconscious, we can actually eliminate fears, habits, thought patterns, addictions, anything that's holding us back, and implement new changes to our life because we're rewiring our brain through neuroplasticity. And this is actually the most effective and easiest way to rewire our brain. And you can even practice skills within the lucid dream. You can talk to your subconscious and get advice. It goes really, really, really deep for those who are wanting to do it. And I have helped others with really bad PTSD, even like eating disorders or bipolar disorders or just even depression. Like we can come in contact with those parts of ourselves, and not only, it's not like waking life where we just try to be okay with experiencing this, but we can actually go in and talk to our brain and to our subconscious and be like, I don't want this problem anymore. I want to do this instead. And it has a very big impact on our lives. And I've even experienced physical healing. I suffered from gastritis, ulcers, IBS, esophagitis, even insomnia, anxiety, and depression. And I took all the medications you can think of. I went and saw all the best doctors. I had so many ER visits because of how much pain I was in, and nothing helped for years and years and years. And through one lucid dream, I was able to heal all of that. And that was the first day where I felt truly free. And I knew that I was in control of my life through my dreaming practice. So that's what lucid dreaming is, and it can go as deep as you want it to. It's really incredible.
Haley, so that's really, really cool.
Thank you.
So how do we do it? And like, how would we start? How's a good way to start? What's a good way to start?
Yeah, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to start writing down our dreams. We can't have lucid dreams if we don't remember our regular dreams, right? And so we want to build up that dream recall and our dream memory. And so this is super easy. Anybody can do it. Everyone that I've coached has been able to lucid dream, and it can take someone maybe a week, it can take someone one day, it really depends, but it's very, very easy to do. First, yes, I would start with getting a dream journal. Even if you don't remember anything the first night, that's totally fine. Just write the date and the time and just state that you didn't remember any dreams tonight. What this is doing is it's showing your brain that it's actually a priority to remember your dreams and that it's supposed to recall something. So after a couple days of probing your brain, you will start to remember very long dreams. We'll start with 1 or 2, and then we do have about 5 to 6 dream periods a night. And so you'll start to remember, 5 to 6 dreams. You'll remember the entire process of the dreams. You're surprised that, you can hold that much memory in your sleep. Like I've had dreams where it literally feels like I remember waking up, going about my whole day, and then going to sleep again because it literally
Oh,
felt
wow.
like an entire day and I remembered everything. And so you can really get to that spot with your dreaming practice. So, just write the date and the time down. You didn't remember any dreams, and then you'll start to remember more. One thing I'd recommend doing is you can think about the last thought that you had before bed, because this is also probing your memory during and before sleep. So what was the last thought I had before bed? Do I remember any feelings? Do I remember getting up through the night? Like anything you can remember, just write that down. And then, after a couple days, you will start to remember. Now, the reason that the dream journal is so important is because we're going to use the content of our dreams to induce lucid dreams. So say that you dream of being in high school a lot. That's my dream sign. So we're going to find our dream sign. I probably like 50 to 60% of the time I dream that I'm in a high school. So I tell my brain, okay, the next time that I see a high school or that I dream that I'm in high school or anything, I have to know that I'm dreaming because it's only in my dreams that this happens. So you kind of want to find the similarities within your dream and focus on getting lucid anytime you see that. So once you find your dream sign, you might have a couple, but I would choose the biggest dream sign. So the biggest thing that you dream of the most, you're going to start doing reality checks around that sign. So for me, anytime I hear about a high school, anytime I see a high school, anything like that, I will do a reality check. And the reason why I do that is because the next time I run into a high school situation in my dream, I will check if I'm dreaming. Now, reality check is a very, very important thing because that's going to not just induce lucid dreams, but this will create a habit of lucidity because you're creating a habit of awareness throughout the day. So I'll just give you guys a couple of my favorite ones, and these are the ones I use every single day. So a reality check is going to be something to check your reality. You want it to be something that would be impossible to complete in waking life. So for me, I like to count my fingers because the dream has a very hard time at detailed pattern recognition. So if you look at your hands in your dream, you're not, like, something will be off. You'll have too many fingers, or you won't be able to see the really fine lines in your hands. There will be something that is clearly off, literally 99.9.5% of the time. So throughout the day, you want to check your hands, be like, okay, does anything look different? Do I have 10? Let's look away and look back again, because the dream has a very hard time at replicating what it just saw. So you want to do every check twice, because you might look at a clock and it says 3:30, but you might look away and then it just has tons of gibberish. Once we build that awareness, we'll be able to notice these one-off situations within our dreams. So I'll just count my fingers, make sure I have 10, look away, and I will count again. And then another one I really like to do, there's 3 main ones. So that's the first one. The second one is I will try to poke my finger through my hand. Obviously, if I'm awake and my hand is solid, it's not going to go through. But if you will it to go through each day, you're going to start doing that in your dream and really will it to go through, and it will just go through, and you'll realize you're dreaming that way. And this is probably one of the most effective ones for me. And then the last one I like to mention is holding your nose closed and breathing in. Because if you're awake, you're using your physical nose, so you won't be able to breathe, but in your dream, you're using your mind. You're not using any of your physical senses. So if you plug your nose and breathe in, you'll actually be able to breathe just fine within the dream, and that is a clear sign that you're dreaming. So doing that maybe every hour, or anytime you run into your dream sign, or anytime you think about dreaming, or anything that could possibly trigger you to think about your dreams, you're going to do a reality check. Now, this can just take a couple days, this could take a week, but what you're going to start noticing is in your dreams you will start to do a reality check unconsciously. You won't be lucid at this point, you will just start to do a reality check, but the result of the reality check is what's going to spark that lucidity. So that's the easiest way to get lucid, and there's a ton of techniques that we can do if you want to be able to induce them at will instead of just spontaneously like those techniques.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I know I have this, you told me about this really cool app that you can get for your phone that just gives you, like, are you dreaming? Are you dreaming? So you check your hands. So I'm checking to see that I have all the wrinkles in my palms and everything every time.
Yeah.
Are you dreaming? And sometimes I wish I was, but no,
Right.
I'm really awake. Sorry.
And if anyone does want to get that app, it's called Awoken. And I think it's just for Android, which we discovered before, but there's tons of lucid dreaming apps you can use.
Yeah, the one I used was Lucidity. Yeah, for iPhone.
And they're all pretty similar too. How Awoken works, and I'm sure a lot of other lucid dreaming apps work the same way, is you type in how many times you want it to alert you to do a reality check. So say I want to be alerted 10 times between 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'll put that in my phone and it will vibrate, and when I look at it, it will say, are you dreaming? you do a reality check really quick, and then you just click, okay, I'm not dreaming. And that kind of gets the habit of checking in your brain, and then eventually you won't need the app. So yeah, I know there's a ton of them, but Awoken, Lucidity, there's lots that you can. I'm sure you can just type in Lucid Dreaming app and something will come up.
You got some tips for us to how to recall our dreams? Because I know, like, if I get up out of bed, they're gone, and like
Hmm. Yeah.
I dream about,
So
it, and then
yeah.
working really hard.
And so a lot of people I know that they will wake up and then they will wait to write their dreams down and then it will kind of slip our mind. So the thing I like to do is before I get out of bed, before I move, before I do anything, I will just lay there and I will be like, what was I dreaming of? And I just keep my eyes closed and I try to think backwards. So what was the last thing I remember, okay, I remember talking to this person. What happened before that? What happened before that? And you'll be able to recall your dream backwards because you're probing your brain. Now, the reason why this is interesting is because if we're laying in a position that we were dreaming in, it sounds weird, but if you move, your dreaming memory was actually in your muscles in the position you were sleeping in. So if you like roll over the other way, you're going to forget your dreams. So that's really interesting. So as soon as you
Wow.
get up, whatever position you're in, just lay there and then just really try to think for like a couple minutes. Don't think too hard, just kind of let it flow because if we think too much, it kind of blocks our memory. And I'm sure you guys have experienced that. You're trying really hard to remember something, and then once you forget about it, you're like, oh my God, I remember it now. That's kind of how
Yeah.
it is with
Sometimes
dreams
through
as
the
well.
day, it's just like, oh, something just piques it or something, you go,
Yeah,
oh, now I
exactly.
remember I had this weird dream. And yeah.
Yeah. And so basically, yeah, what I do when I get up before I move, I just try to think about what I dreamt of. As soon as I get up, I will do a reality check and then I'll write my dream journal. And the reason why I do a reality check when I wake up is because I don't know if you guys have ever had a dream where you dreamt that you were waking up, but you actually were still asleep. You know, you,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, that's called a false awakening. So if you get in the habit of doing a reality check before you get out of bed, if you have one of those dreams again, you're automatically going to do a reality check because it's part of the habit when you wake up. And so you'll be able to realize you're lucid in any of those scenarios. So those are the best best ways that I
Wow.
remember my dreams. Yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about sleep paralysis and how you want us to get into that state of sleep paralysis? You were
Hmm.
telling us about that the other day. So, can
Yeah.
you kind of run through that? I've been trying that, and I wake up
Yeah.
myself up snoring because I'm laying on my back. But
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I've done that for sure. So the reason why sleep paralysis is important is because we all go through that state anyways. We go through it 5 to 6 times a night actually because, REM sleep or rapid eye movement stage of sleep is where we experience our dreams and we also go in sleep paralysis and our body paralyzes itself during dreams so we don't act out our dreams and punch a wall. It's kind of like a safety mechanism. So you can think that anyone who has experienced sleepwalking might have had a deficiency in those chemicals at the time that didn't paralyze the body correctly. So it's very important that we go through sleep paralysis, and this can be a gateway to experience an out-of-body experience or a lucid dream. And so it's really cool to not only know how to act when you get in the sleep paralysis, but also how to induce it. So basically, what I was talking about, sleep paralysis is completely natural. We go through it every single night. And some of the symptoms, I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced this, is you will start to feel tingling all over your body. It feels like maybe your hand's asleep, but it's that feeling throughout your entire body. You will start to hear high-pitched noises or non-physical sensations. For me, I will hear like doors opening and closing. I will hear voices. I know that this is just because my consciousness is becoming, in the non-physical realm. So I'm going to pick up on things that aren't actually happening in our physical existence. So this can be a little scary for some, but it's totally natural. I almost think of it as like a superpower because those who experience sleep paralysis every night can literally have an out-of-body experience every time they experience it. And do you know how many years people train to do that? So it's really, really, really valuable to be able to use sleep paralysis. One thing that I do want to mention is I'm sure a lot of you have heard of what's called the sleep paralysis demon. And the reason why people call it this is because when they go into sleep paralysis, they will feel like they're suffocating. But when we're actually sleeping, we don't need to take in nearly as much air when we're awake. So the body naturally collapses the diaphragm slightly. But when you're kind of in that paralysis state and you don't know what's happening, your mind starts to think of fearful things like, oh my God, what's happening? Is someone sitting on my chest? And that's how the sleep paralysis demon term came to be because people think, someone's sitting on their chest or suffocating them or anything. It's totally, totally natural. It's literally just your diaphragm. And once you start to have this curiosity and excitement about the experience, you'll notice that you don't experience anything that you would consider fearful. I get really excited when I experience sleep paralysis because I know that there's an experience right around the corner. And so I really have to try not to mess it up, you know. I know some people really want to wake themselves up, but what I'd recommend is just relaxing through it. It's an amazing sensation that isn't in this physical reality. We feel vibrations, we feel that we're floating, we see, you know, images and visuals. Like this is also how we can contact, you know, our spirit guides or anything. I've talked to them through the sleep paralysis state. So it's very, very important to just relax through this state. And I'm going to give you guys a technique through sleep paralysis. So sleep paralysis is basically our body's asleep while our mind is awake. Usually we aren't conscious of this because our mind falls asleep before our body falls asleep, and so we just go through it while we're asleep. But if you do want to induce this, I don't know if you guys know your REM stages, but anytime that you wake up directly from a dream, that means that you're in REM. So I'd probably write that time down, assuming that you kind of go to bed the same time and wake up around the same time. That's going to be able to tell you, okay, I dream at these times. So if I want to do a technique, I'm going to have to wake up during this time. And then once you wake up, you'll probably stay up for about 15 to 30 minutes. And the reason why we do this is because we want to activate the brain, right? We don't want the mind to fall asleep before the body this time. We want the mind to stay awake longer than the body. And so if we stay up for about 15 to 30 minutes, just write in our journal, read a book, something that doesn't engage with, you know, a lot of light, like our laptop or our phone or our TV, just kind of keep it really chill. Once you go back to sleep, I like to lay on my back because I don't usually sleep on my back, so my mind is going to have a little sliver of awareness. I'm not going to be able to go into that deep sleep. Once you relax, you will start to feel your body get heavier, and you will start to feel those sensations I was talking about earlier, like that really light feeling. You might feel like you're floating, tingling. You'll start to hear non-physical sensations. I also feel a pressure on my third eye when I go into sleep paralysis. And if you want to induce a lucid dream, all you have to do is, it's all thought responsive, so just really paint the picture of the dream you want to have. Okay, I want to be walking through a forest. I want to see this bird. I want to sit here. Just paint the entire picture of how you want it to go. And then I'm sure you guys have experienced those colors as you're falling asleep, those that's like just kind of washing in and out of your vision, and that's called hypnagogic imagery. So that's a sign that your body is falling asleep. This can also happen in the morning, though, when your body is coming out of sleep, so you can also do this technique then as well. But just really concentrate on the dream you want to have, and those colors you're seeing will kind of form the dream, and you will be lucid in your dream. And for those who haven't had a lucid dreaming experience, it feels just like this real life. Like your mind takes in all sensory information you've ever experienced in your entire life, and it brings it to you in the lucid dream. So you can have a very vivid dream about the house you used to live in during your childhood, but you didn't even remember it consciously, but your brain stores all of that information and intensifies it so everything is completely crisp and clear. You can interact with all of your senses. It feels just like this reality, except we're not limited to the laws of physics, which is really cool. So that is how you kind of induce it from the sleep paralysis. Just really focus on getting lucid. You can even come up with a mantra. Now I'm lucid. I know that I'm dreaming. You know, say something that really feels powerful to you. And since we're in that kind of like hypnosis like state, we're in kind of like a theta state. So we're very susceptible to thoughts or words that we're saying to ourselves. You know, we're kind of putting ourselves into a hypnosis state by doing that. So coming up with your own mantra. And if anyone wants to experience an out-of-body experience through this state, it's very intense. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, it is basically when, you know, lucid dreaming is us going inside our consciousness. But astral projection is where our consciousness goes outside of ourselves and we can explore multidimensional realities. And it sounds far out, but it's very, very real. So all you have to do from this state, if you reach sleep paralysis, is it's all based on, I say, visualization and sensation. The reason why I think that is because we have to make it as real as we can to ourselves. And what's the best way to do that? Visualizing exactly what it looks like and visualizing what it feels like. So for me, I just roll out. Like I imagine rolling out of my bed because I do that every morning, so I really know what that feels like. So when I'm in that sleep paralysis state and I can clearly tell my body is asleep, I will just imagine rolling off my bed, and this will kind of be scary for some because it literally feels like you're slipping off your bed. Like the first time I ruined it because I didn't want to fall off the bed, and I kind of like pushed myself the other way, and I woke up and I was still in the middle of my bed. So it feels very, very real, but you'll be able to slip out of your body doing that and experience anything you want to. You can access the Akashic records. You can leave this earth if you want to. I tried flying to the moon, as crazy as that sounds, but it was a very long and cold flight, so it feels
Wow.
so whatever experience you want to have, sleep paralysis is an amazing gateway for either an out-of-body experience or a lucid dream. So
Teresa, you have been, Haley was talking to us, and so we were following all her instructions here, and we've gotten various success, but I think you had the most success because you almost went lucid, or so tell us about
Yeah,
that.
it was close to lucid, but not quite there yet. In the morning, I have that zone right before I wake up, and sometimes I get messages from angels then or the dragons or something, but sometimes it's just a dream. This morning, I was dreaming about tiny little crackers with like tuna salad on it, and then there was a little piece of seaweed on it, and then there was a pitcher of iced tea. And I saw it there and it was going by and I go, well, wait a minute, wait a minute. I want to stop and I want to make this myself. So there I went to the crackers and I got the crackers. I gave a stir to the tea and I'm thinking, oh my God, maybe I finally got lucid. Maybe I'm always lucid at this time of day. Maybe, you know, and I got all excited. But that's not quite lucid yet, is it?
it's very, very close. You're influencing your dreams very heavily, and you're picking up that awareness. I can tell because of how vivid and crisp your dreams are. So the more you do it and the more you pay attention to your dreams, and the morning is the perfect time to do it because we've already had all of our deep sleep. Our brain is starting to wake up naturally. And so, REM sleep, or when we're dreaming, is actually our brain waves are more active than when we're actually awake. So we have a very, very good chance at getting lucid, and it's really good that you're dreaming that vividly. And I know that you can kind of wake up and go back to sleep into a dream. If you just woke up at one of the stages you were talking about and just did like a reality check, or the next time I see my hands, I'll know that I'm dreaming. If you just said that a couple times and then you slipped back in a dream, it's a very good chance that you'd get lucid. And so I know all of your guys' dreams are going to be super powerful just because of your energy and your awareness. And so, yeah, the mornings are the perfect time to do it. And I know that you're paying really good attention to your dreams and kind of reading through your dream journal. And that's exactly what you want to do because you're showing your brain that dreams are a priority. You're thinking about dreams a lot. So you're going to start dreaming of talking about dreaming with people and then talking about lucid dreaming. And then you're going to be like, wait, is this a dream? And be able to go lucid from there. So super awesome though.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Kendall says, I can't lay on my back. That's when it happened. And I keep trying to wake up and can hear everything, but I can't move. So that's sleep paralysis, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could be lucid then.
And most people experience sleep paralysis on their backs. If it gets too much, like I don't encourage leaving sleep paralysis because I feel like once we overcome that fear barrier and we learn to relax and enjoy these sensations, we have a very, very powerful transformation that we did with our mind. Like I used to be scared of it, or nightmares, for example, but
Yeah.
nightmares are very powerful for lucid dreaming. So now I'm excited because it's a chance to work on my subconscious and do shadow work. So just changing that subconscious focus on, the situation is really going to help. But if it does get too much, there's two things you can do. The main one is to kind of flex your diaphragm. That's going to be the only thing that's not paralyzed during sleep paralysis. So it's almost like you're going to cough. You kind of feel that flexing in your diaphragm. That's basically telling your body, hey, I'm actually awake, because when we go to sleep, as I talked about before, our body's going to give us what's called the rollover signal. So it's going to send us itches, or it's going to try to get us to roll over, and that's trying to say, hey, are you awake? And if we ignore these, it'll be like, okay, she's asleep, let's put her in sleep paralysis. But if you send the signal and kind of move or flex your muscle, it's going to take you out of sleep paralysis. So that's kind of always something to keep in mind if you did want to leave sleep paralysis, but I would just learn how to work with it. Same with all of our fears. We don't want to avoid it, but we want to work with it and learn how to transform it into something positive. And so if you ever get in that state, depending on what you want to experience, just focus on visualization. And the best thing I can tell you is to let go. It's a very powerful energetic shift. Like I was holding on, I was kind of scared, my heart was beating super fast, but I had this energetic shift of just letting go. And all of a sudden I floated right out of my body and I could see my body sleeping. And once you let that, just that energetic feeling like, okay, I trust the universe, I trust this experience, I know that I'm safe, I'm just going to let it take me. You'll experience very, very, very powerful transformation there. So it's a good thing, in my opinion.
Oh, Wow, that's really
So
cool.
with the healing part, because that's the part that I'm really interested in and I want to hear a little bit more about, but how do you use your lucid dreaming for healing? How would that process work?
So you want to come up with one thing that you want to heal. Now, I always tell people it doesn't matter what it is, because in our subconscious, we have more power than anybody knows. Like, more power than anybody knows. And anything you want to work on, whether you want advice in a marriage, or you want to heal physical pain, or you want to be able to sleep better, or you don't want certain habits, or anything like that, just focus on what you want to accomplish. And then when you get lucid, you're going to call that to you. So, for example, for me, I had a lot of stomach issues, as I was saying before, and I put the intention to heal myself when I went into the lucid dream. So I said, okay, tonight I'm going to get lucid. I just know it. I'm going to get lucid, and I'm going to find someone to help me heal my stomach. When I went into the dream with that intention, someone just came up to me and said, hey, I'm here to heal your stomach like you asked for. So setting that intention will influence the dream to bring that to you. So always have the intention first, because a lot of people will go lucid and be like, oh my God, I didn't plan for this to happen. I don't know what to do. And then we kind of wake up. So it's really good to set a strong intention before you go in. And then you can actually just talk, like, for example, this guy represented an archetype of my stomach pain. Usually any dream character in the dream is going to represent something within you. So it's really good to talk to dream characters, ask them for things, and then if you want to talk to like the higher intelligence, so like your subconscious, your brain, you'll actually just call out to the sky. And that is like just the awareness of all of your dreams. So it kind of makes sense why that's like that. But it's really easy, actually. All you have to do is ask. And once you intend something to happen, that's why reality checks work. We intend our finger to go through in the dream, and so it does. So if we intend to experience healing, or we intend to find someone to help us with our healing, we will. And a lot of these you don't need to like physically heal. Like for my stomach, I went into a healing pool of water and I imagined that I was healed, and I just said, thank you for my healing. And I woke up, and that was the first time in 6 years that I didn't have any pain. It could be something visual like that. Or you can manifest, I want to talk to my anxiety, I want to talk to my insomnia, my PTSD. You just call it out to your subconscious, and something in the dream will bring it to you, whether it's a character that comes up to you or anything. Just really pay attention to what's going on, because the dream speaks in visual terms. It's basically writing us letters, but through images. So anything we experience in the dream, it's really important to interact with it and try to understand it. So once you call out to experience something, or maybe it's your fear or anything like that, and this is why nightmares are important. Nightmares are our shadow side, so anything that we deny, suppress, or disown, or don't want to bring to light. So if we dream of someone chasing us, or dream of something we consider fearful, if we just run away from it and don't do anything, our brain's going to basically be like, okay, see you next week, and it's just going to come back in a later dream. But if we can talk to it and be like, oh my gosh, who are you? Why are you here? What do you represent? Where did the root of this start? You can actually physically have a conversation with whether it's your inner anger or your eating disorder or your anxiety, and it will just tell you, oh, I actually stemmed from this situation this many years ago, and your conscious mind not be able to remember it, but our subconscious mind stores all information and all memories that we've ever experienced. So you'll be able to find out what the root cause of it is, and just ask for it to be released. And it sounds too easy, but that's literally all we have to do is ask, because we're talking to our subconscious. We don't have to try to put ourselves in that state and really manifest it or think about it a lot. We can literally talk to our subconscious, be like, hey, this is what I want. I don't want this anymore. I want to make this change. And it is that easy. I don't know if you guys have heard of Charlie Morley, but he is a Hay House author. And he had two really profound healings. One was his eyesight. He had glasses, and he really couldn't see. Even with his glasses, it was very, very, very cloudy. And without his glasses, he had really bad headaches. He went into his dream, and he put his palms over his eyes and just said, my eyes are free of conflict. My eyes are free of conflict. Now, it did take him about 2 dreams, but when he did that, the second dream, he heard a big, like, boom, like it shook the dream, and he knew something was different. He woke up, immediately sat up, and could see his whole room, but he's like, wait, I don't even have my glasses on yet. And so it's literally like, ooh, placebo. Placebo is the most powerful thing that has been able to cure anything in medical history, the only thing, and we have direct contact with placebo and rewiring our brain through the dream, so it's really powerful. And the other one I wanted to mention is he had a really bad ear infection, like really, really, really bad. It was super, super painful. I can't remember how long it lasted. It lasted a while. He went into the dream and held his ear, and just imagined healing light going into his ear. And it felt like something was, this is a little gross, but he felt like there was something like dripping out of his ear. And when he woke up, it all poured out. It like all released itself from the dream. And
Wow.
that's very powerful. Like I've even worked with
Wow.
someone who had, I think it's called plantar warts on their feet. They were really, really painful. I had them go into the dream and just, it seems to be very beneficial if you put your hands on yourself for healing and imagine white light. So I had them do that, and then literally 5 days after they woke up, they turned black and they all fell off and they never returned, and they had those their entire life.
Wow.
Yeah, so it can be very powerful for anything you want to do. Like when I talk to clients, I don't say, okay, here's the limitations, here's what you can experience, here's not what you can experience. No, everything that a client has came to me for, we have been able to transform and work with. So yeah, you just basically ask, and then you just use your hands for healing, and you'll experience something very powerful within the dream.
Well, thanks
So
so
exciting.
much.
Yeah,
Thanks so
I love
much, Haley.
that.
Can you tell us where we can find you before we close
yeah,
out today?
totally. So I have a YouTube channel. It's under the Lucid Mystic. I also have a coaching page. It's called the Lucid Mystic / Altered States Spiritual Life Coaching. If you have any questions about coaching or want to work with me, you can find me there. You can also just message me on my regular Facebook at Haylee Lynn. And then if you want to join my dream team, you can go to Haylee Lynn's Lucid Dream Team. And that's also a Facebook group as well. And we kind of share our experiences. We kind of help each other. You can find a lot of my videos there as well. So those are the main 3 ways to reach me.
Great. Oh, Bex,
Perfect.
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us, Haley. We really
Of
appreciate it.
course.
Yeah,
I'm really
let's
happy.
go.
Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. You guys are amazing, and I'm really happy to share this with all of you guys. And I'm really happy you guys are working on your dreams. So this is really fun.
I can't wait to see what I can heal because I'm definitely going to be working on that, healing different parts and
Definitely.
everything. I'm really excited about that. I mean, hey, if I stop wearing glasses, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Just know
I'm
that
excited.
will be-
Yeah.
Just
So
know that
Okay.
it'll be really easy for you, and you can experience anything. So
All right. I mean, the flying is like my favorite thing, so I just like to
Yeah.
fly once I get in there. That's all I'm
Right?
going to do. So I have to focus a little bit, and then I can fly. But
Exactly.
yeah, so the theme song, we have to ask you the question.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
had a song to be the theme song of your life, what would it be?
So it's actually an instrumental, but it's called Lucid Truth by
Ooh.
Blackmill. And the reason why I love it is because you guys will have to listen to Blackmill. It's very beautiful, and I was listening to that a lot when I was experiencing a ton of lucid dreams. So every time I hear it, I just think about the universe and how magical everything is, and I think about lucid dreaming, and it just puts me in that state automatically every time I
Wow.
listen to it. So yeah, it's called Lucid Truth.
That's awesome. I love
Wow.
that. We're going
Thank
to
you.
try that out too. It's nice to
Yeah.
have like a trigger, something that's going to help you get into that space a little bit easier. So you can just-
Exactly.
and having any tools to be able to do that is awesome. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
All
totally.
right. So we have the winner of last week's Share It Out, who won a reading with Rhonda Elliott. You get a mini healing through your record session, and the winner is Kenzel Mitchell. So congratulations,
Oh,
Rhonda will
Kenzel,
contact
come
you
on.
and set up that. It's going to be awesome. Whoever shares out this week gets a mini reading with me, so make sure to share it out. And I can't wait to find out who wins next week because it's going to be so much fun. The announcements for the shows are after this on the Akashic Academy Network is the Cosmic Ascension Report with Janelle Cameron at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Tomorrow morning, there's Beauty at the Heart with Sarah Lillian. That's at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Then there's Nourishing Your Multidimensional Body with Kathy Holmeyer. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And there's Let's Tap with Suzanne Gunderson at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And there is somewhere, I think it's on the page, on the Akashic Academy page, there is a schedule. So you can see if you don't remember, you can have it and save it on your phone, and then you can see what the shows are for the whole week because we have shows every day. So definitely want to check that out. There's always awesome information, and we get to hang out with a cool group of people. So there's also the membership group for anybody who wants to join the insider group. We offer intuitive classes. There's Mindful Mondays. Sifu Boggy's bringing in some Qigong, which is always good if you want to get energy, get energized and be able to not feel drained every day. He's really good with that. And there's also the full moon and new moon ceremonies. And those are that right now we're offering that for $444 a month for the first month. For the first month, you get a special of $444. And then after that, it will be $44.44. So you get a trial month where you get to check it out, hang out with everybody, see what's going on, and see if you like it, you vibe with it. And we have special links in our description. Is it in the description or the comments, Rhonda?
It's in the description. I'll put it in the comments as well.
So Teresa, Rhonda, and I all have special links that you can click on. We each have our own individual link that you can sign up underneath us. And for anyone who signs up using one of our links, we are gifting you an amazing ethereal Egypt soul spa meditation. This is such an incredible journey that we went on. We love to do this kind of stuff. We take people off on adventures. We offer healing. We offer channeling, the meditation. It's a package deal. And it's a really, really awesome gift to be able to get. It's I think it's like 70, what do we say, 70-something dollar value. It's crazy.
About $75.
Yeah,
value,
and it's free. We're giving it to anybody who signs up under us for free. And you get to visit Mott. You get to go to Egypt. And there's channeling with that. There's healing in Egypt. And it's mind-blowing. It was such an amazing thing for us to be able to bring through. And we're going to be doing more of those in the future. So keep an eye out for that. And I think, the Akashic Magazine, which is free. You can download it at www.theakashicacademy.com.
It's in the links too.
It's
I'll
awesome.
put it in the,
Oh, thank you. It's in there, so you can check it out. And I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else. I don't see anything else. So I think that's all of it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you guys go to the Akashic Academy page, you can still look under events and see the Release Your Divine Magic videos. You just look under discussion, and all the videos for the day are there. So if you want to go back and rewatch any of them, they're all still up. You just have to go into events and look at the Release Divine Magic video to catch them all there. So
yeah, you don't want to miss our meditation.
No, we went to Avalon yesterday. We did a soul spa yesterday with that, and we went to Avalon. And
we could lucid dream to Avalon.
We could.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.